So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's time for another one of these. Yeah, I know, I was late. Well, I wasn't actually late, I just skipped last week's podcast. I think every 2 weeks is the sweet spot for these style of videos because weekly I just can't seem to get my life together enough. So every 2 weeks, it is. I have so much to catch you guys up on that I don't even know where to start. Actually, hang on, I do, because I made a list. Where is the list? It's been 2 weeks, I think, since I last checked in, and I can't remember what in the love of God I talked about in the last video. I think I complained for like 20 minutes straight about the heat. It does sound like something I would do. I hope the lighting's alright in this one. I didn't have it in my soul today to move the ring light. The ring light's like connected to my computer, and I have to play with a bunch of wires to get it out for these style of videos, and my soul just said no today. These pillows would stop creaking and crackling behind me. I'd appreciate it. It's one of those days. Oh, it's one of those days I can just tell if the cushions are annoying me. I think I just need to nap. I found the list. All right. First thing that I've written down is Doctor Who ending. Why? Even my voice gave out there. Listen, I really like the new two-est seasons. The new two-est seasons. Yeah. I think Ncuti is one of my favourite doctors. I said it that Capaldi was always my favourite doctor. I think Ncuti might be up there with him. I'm just annoyed that we got such a short run with him. I mean, I don't know, was that always the plan? Some people in the comments are saying, yeah, that was always the plan, that Ncuti signed on for 2 seasons, a 2 season run. It just felt super short. The regeneration thing had me a bit confused as well because, spoiler if you haven't seen Doctor Who, you must live under a rock or have really good avoidance skills because it's been everywhere. Rose regenerated as the Doctor. Now, there's a lot of people saying that it's not the Doctor, that it might only be the Doctor for like a special or a few episodes, or that it's just taking her face. It mightn't actually be Rose. I don't know. All I know is I felt my soul just like kind of stop, stagger, and fall down the stairs when I saw her face on screen. I love Rose. I just love it when we get like a throwback, when we get anybody from a past season in any show. You pull someone up out of the depths of my memory that I've forgotten about, and I'm going to be like, ah. It's been really nice as well getting all the love on the Doctor Who reactions. I say it all the time. When I start like new shows, like to YouTube, when I start posting reactions to YouTube, because I've been doing Doctor Who for like a few years on Patreon. But when I start like posting to YouTube, it's nuts when people are actually nice. Do you know what I mean? I got that as well with the Wicked reaction. I put up a trailer for the Wicked trailer for Wicked for Good, and everyone was just so nice in the comments. And I'm like, I just love it when you see the good side of fandoms. You see people be so kind and so welcoming. The Last of Us also ended. I feel like every show that I like is just going off air at the moment. They're all going into hiatus at the same time, which just tickles my tits in the worst way possible. So it twists the tits, really, not tickles. Because you know you're going to have to wait 2 years for the next season. And I'm like, I have the patience of a 2-year-old ferret. There's none there, like. Well, 2-year-old ferrets probably exist. I mean, the patience within the ferret is just not there. And I do understand that art takes time and that making projects takes time. But, like, this new format of 2 years in between seasons, and then you gotta wait for a 6 to 7 episode long season if you're lucky. I miss the days of having like 22 episode long seasons, and there's a bunch of filler. There's a bunch of episodes that nobody likes. They're always my favourite. I always love the episodes that everyone else hated, and then I log on to the internet to see what people are saying, and they're like, oh, shit! And I'm there by myself in the corner, wondering, does my media literacy just like suck donkey balls? Why do I love the ones that everyone hates? But yeah, The Last of Us ended. I did a whole review video on that season of The Last of Us, breaking down the season and what I liked about it and stuff. So I'm not going to go too much into it in this. All I'll say here is that I really did like it. I thought it was a strong season. I miss Joel. I miss the dynamic Joel and Ellie had. The season had its faults, but I think it was absolutely solid and steady, and I can't believe we're already finished. I feel like I was just talking about I can't wait for The Last of Us to come back. I'll go back into hibernation, you dumb fuck, because now you gotta wait like 2 more years. Dead City is back though. Dead City's back, and I think we have another 3 or 4 episodes left of this season. Maggie's running around the place like, where's Herschel? Herschel's out there doing God knows what with Dharma. Listen, if you don't watch Dead City, oh my god, you are missing out on the trippiest of times. There's just something about the Walking Dead universe that grabs me by the soul. And just, I don't think it's ever letting go. I'm looking at my Walking Dead merch now, and I'm like, I love that show. The same amount as I did back when I started it, which is nuts. And I miss it so much. I can't help but wonder, what are they doing with that universe? Because I saw that apparently Dead City's getting a season 3. And Daryl's already recording season 4, I think. How long are they going to keep those two shows simultaneously going? I can totally see us coming back and doing like a big movie, bringing all the shows together for some sort of project. I miss the main show. I miss all of my favourite characters. I miss the vibe that The Walking Dead had. As much as I do love the fact that Daryl Dixon's gone like European, that crazy little son of a bitch made his way to Europe, and we're getting like new sets, new scenery, new not customs. What's the word I'm looking for? New cultures. I love it. I really do. Oh, the leg of this mic just completely gave up the will to live. I know I'm boring, but come on. What was I talking about? Daryl Dixon. Likely topic for me to find myself on. And I do like that with Dead City as well, that we're getting to see like Manhattan and the big cityscape side of things, because Walking Dead is mostly like forests and like out in the butthole of nowhere. We're dealing with communities that like live out in the middle of the forests and stuff. So I do like that we're getting to see major cities. Um, I don't know. I really do. I miss the main show so much. That show is my one true love, I swear to God. But how do you guys feel about filler episodes? Because I put up a TikTok saying this exact thing, that I miss longer seasons with more episodes and those, less important episodes in between. I don't like using filler because I think even filler episodes are important. But I asked, like, I threw the question out and I was like, I want like longer seasons back. And people were majoritively like, yeah, I agree. But there was a small amount of people that were like, no, I like the shorter format. Filler episodes are boring. They're not needed. You lose interest. And it's like, I can understand that in a way, but at the same time, this like, and I've said it so many times, I'm like a broken record, but I am nothing if not constantly repeating myself because I forget what I say half the time. There's something stressful about watching a show that's only 7 episodes long, and like every moment of screen time counts, and you are locked the fuck in. But like you look away for 2 seconds, you've missed, they've introduced a new character and someone else has died, and you're like, what? Or you miss a glance between two characters and everyone's like, you missed this. All of that to say, I got off topic. I like The Walking Dead. I actually think I might rewatch The Walking Dead. I'm gonna rewatch Wicked over the weekend as well because I watched the trailer for the second one. I adore Wicked. I love Wicked. I did a reaction for that and I told the story about when I met Jonathan Bailey. It's the video that was posted just before this one. So if you want to hear all about that, it's that video. But I love that movie. It's so beautiful and just I like a bit of whimsy. God forbid a woman wants a bit of whimsy in her life. Speaking of whimsy, but not really. It's actually more speaking of Jonathan Bailey. The new Jurassic Park film's out this month. Jurassic World. Jurassic Park. I don't know and I don't care. It's the one about the dinosaurs. Jonathan Bailey's in it and I'm like, oh my good Jesus. I'm skipping, I'm cartwheeling, I'm doing the worm all the way to the cinema. I finally seen Sinners. I finally saw Sinners. I've been saying it for the last like 3 episodes of this goddamn podcast. I need to see Sinners. You fuckers were not lying. Everyone was like, you would love it. It's right up your street. Like, you're going to become obsessed with it. And I was like, I don't have time to get to see it. I made time. Oh my God. I know I talk about things I love a lot on my channel and I'm very like vocal with things I love, but I don't think I can stress enough how much like Interview with the Vampire took over my life. The show and the books. I don't really care for the films. The show is just, I think it's the most perfectly put together vampire media. It is the most jaw-dropping artistically, in terms of acting, in terms of costuming, in terms of the storylines. I think it's the best show ever made. Ever. And there's only 2 seasons of it, like. So I went into this, a lot of people were like, oh, if you like Interview with the Vampire, you love Sinners. You were not wrong and you were not lying. Now, there was no, like, gay love story, so I'm like, oh, I feel like it really could have been improved upon if you had just had some of that, but Happy Pride Month, by the way. We're like 1 week into June. Happy Pride Month. This is so train of thought. I'm all over the place. I always do feel like a little tang. We'll get back to Sinners in a minute. What a strange thing to say when in the middle of talk about Pride Month. Sweet Mother of Christ. You know I'm talking about the movie. I always do feel like a pang of sadness and like carefulness, because I know there's so many people who can't be out and proud during Pride Month. There's so many people who can't celebrate and be open about it. And it sucks. It really sucks being in that position, seeing everyone else be able to be so open about it. So happy Pride Month, even if you're celebrating privately by yourself. You're seen and you're loved. Back to the film. I absolutely adored it. I think it's one of, no, it is. It's probably the best horror thriller I've seen all year long. And it has that Interview with the Vampire vibe to it, of like the art, the costume design, the acting, the set dressing. It is probably the most stunning film I've seen all year. And it's the scariest I've seen vampires be in a long ass time. That little bitch, the guy I'm on about, the main bitch, who started randomly singing Irish songs, by the way. I was like, anytime I hear anything Irish in a movie, it just catches me by the crotch of my soul. And I'm like, that's Irish. What's funny is we have a load of. So basically, in the movie Sinners, again, I wish I could learn how to segue and just tell a sentence in a linear fashion. How could I do anything in a straight way during Pride Month, though, to be honest? There's a bit where I can't remember his fucking name. The main fella, the lad from Skins, is singing an Irish like folk song. He's singing about like my broga and shit. Broga is Irish for shoes. But we've so many songs like that. We've so many, like we'd call them drinking songs, I guess, but like they'd be called folk songs for going like for the legit title. But yeah, anytime I see anything Irish or hear anything Irish in film or TV, I'm like, speaking of Irishness, I watched 28 Days Later, rewatched 28 Days Later recently because the new one's also coming out this month. It's a good year for horror films. Uh, 28 Years Later, I think it's called, is coming out this month. So I went back and I rewatched 28 Days Later, and I also rewatched 28 Weeks Later. I truly think I'm in the minority when I say I think 28 Weeks Later is better than 28 Days Later. The acting in 28 Days Later is better, and Cillian Murphy, hello. If I could talk to like any person in the world, Cillian would be top of my list. He is just a beautiful enigma of a man. I actually met him once at a comic book shop. Completely accidental. It was actually the same comic book shop I met Gabriel Luna in from The Last of Us. That wasn't coincidental, he was doing a signing. But with Cillian, this is years back. This was back 2008-ish, because my brother was really young at the time. We went in and I was looking at the posters and there was someone in my way and I tried to walk around them and they stepped backwards, stood on my foot, and I was like, oh, ow. And he grabbed me by the shoulders and it was the biggest, most beautiful blue eyes. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you're right. And I was like, am I hallucinating? I just quickly said, oh, it's grand, it's whatever. No, you're grand. Ran back to my mother and was like, Cillian Murphy's in the shop. What year would it have been? He'd already been in Batman. He'd already been the Scarecrow in Batman. So it was probably like 2 or 3 years after that, because that's what I knew him from at the time. Um, where the fuck did I start this story? 28 Days Later. So he's fantastic in that original film, but I think the structure and the storyline of the second one is better, and I enjoyed it more, and I enjoyed as well. It's visually clearer. I am a hater. I'm a hater until I die of the ultra 4K like HD visuals. I don't like them. I don't want to be able to count the freckles in someone's face. I don't want to be able to see the smile lines and the dehydration lines around someone's eyes. Not a fan of that shit. I love me a little bit of grain. A little bit of grainy visuals. I like that. But the original 28 Days Later is borderline like handheld in certain shots and you can't tell what's going on, who's being attacked, who's fighting who. How did I get on to 28 Days Later? Oh, Cillian Murphy. I just love him. I think he's a swell dude. And that's that, really. I also watched a film called Opus, OPUS. That movie, I went into it completely blind, knowing nothing. I think I'd seen like half of a trailer. If you get the chance, it's another great new thriller. I rewatched Bird Box recently as well. This is just like, come sit down with me and let me tell you about what I watched. I like giving out recommendations, okay? You guys give me recommendations all the time. So back to Bird Box, a movie that's like hailed as one of the best horrors of all time, and it's like 7 or 8 years old. Have you seen it? No, it was really good. I rewatched it and it still holds up just as good as it did the first few times. Something else that's like been taking over my life and I can't help it, my body's in standby mode, is the fact that 21 Pilots announced they have a new album out. They're bringing out a new album and they're dropping a single the day before my birthday. Yeah. Actually, I think it's 2 days before my birthday. My birthday is June 13th, so I think it's coming out the 11th. I am just so insufferably excited about it that I can't really do anything else or listen to any other music. So I'm like, they have a song out in a week. They have a song out in a week. They have a song out in a week. I have documented my love for that band throughout the years, I think, on this channel. Throughout my body as well. I can't tell you the amount of 21 Pilot tattoos that I have. I might do an updated tattoo tour soon because I am littered at this stage. And I think I stopped talking about my new ones like 5 or 6 years ago. Although I am booked in to get one next week. So I guess I should hold off on the tattoo tour. If you've nothing going on next week, you can join me in just losing your goddamn mind over the new 21 Pilots song. It's called The Contract. And I don't know it yet, but I already know I love it. I haven't heard it and I know it's my favourite song. I haven't seen the music video and I already know it's art. I'll never forget the day. I did a reaction years ago for Jumpsuit. They dropped Jumpsuit in the music video for Jumpsuit. And I'll never forget like the excitement I felt that day. I might do a reaction for this one. Listen, I talk about it all the time here on YouTube. It gets a bit dicey when you start adding in either long form content or music. Copyright just comes to kick you in the fucking teeth and rip your gums straight out of your gob. So I always try and be careful and keep my videos edited and short and dicey. I don't have to do that with these because it's just me talking. So it's not a problem. But like it's just it's hard to make sure the videos stay up here on YouTube. Uh but I might do a reaction to 21 Pilots video and song. I think I did one for one of the Taylor's version releases as well. Was it 1989, I think? I think it was. I can't help the fact that I'm a very overly excited person and I get so hyped about things and I'm just so excited about life. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes life is a pile of shit. But on those days, hair stuck to my fucking lip gloss. We don't document those days. But on days where like stuff is happening and I'm pumped about life, I just love sharing it with people. And I love finding like people who love stuff the same way I do or in the same vein that I do. Because it's like, oh, cool. So there isn't something wrong with me. There's other freaks like me out there. Nice to meet you. But yeah, it's my birthday next week. I always get weird around my birthday. I think everybody does, but it's like, do you know when a dog is really anxiously looking at you, but they're not looking at you? They're like that. They're like side-eyeing you. I kind of treat my birthday like that. I, I'm in the mindset of like, I get really emotional because I always think like, you don't know how many birthdays you have. One. Two, you don't know how many birthdays you have with loved ones. And three, what have I done since my last birthday? I get too in my own head about things. I need to remember that sometimes it's okay to just like be alive. It's okay to just exist. Not every day, not every week, not every month has to be productive or successful. But I'm such like a highly strung person that I'm always doing something. Like the last few months have been pretty busy here on YouTube for videos, yeah. But I've also been balancing Patreon, which has been pretty busy. That's like my main job, it's my main source of income. So I always make sure that like stuff's popping over there. But on top of that, my band has gone into the studio. I've said this many times. I still get people like, "You're in a band? What?" I'm the drummer in my brother's band. We're called Laterian. We're alternative, kind of rock, kind of a little bit of everything. But we've gone into the studio recently. So I've been in the studio many times with them because long before I was in the band, I would go and help them with things. I'd help them set up stuff. I'd like record things for the socials, stuff like that. But this was my first time like being in the studio to record. And when I tell you, I was like sweating bullets down my back. There's this pressure of like everyone's looking at you. And that doesn't really bother me because I do this for a living. So I'm like, I'm used to people looking at me. It doesn't really bother me all that much. But I don't want to mess up because I know how good I am at this particular thing. Please don't do that thing where as soon as someone looks at you, you know, you fall, you put your head through the snare drum, and then before you know it, you're lying inside the kick and everything's just a mess. But it went really, really, really well. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for you guys to hear what we've done. I am so excited about it. It's going to be fucking sickening. So I can't wait until we can share and show people things. I've fallen in love with drumming though in a way that like I didn't really anticipate. Like I played drums when I was younger and I liked it. But then like, you know, life gets in the way and stuff just gets busy. I never thought I'd come back to it, to be honest with you. And it was like a happy coincidence that it happened. They needed a drummer. I was just here. So falling back into like the habits of practicing and falling back into falling in love with it. I don't it's weird because I've talked to you guys at length about things in terms of like anxiety and nervousness, and I'm both the most relaxed and away by myself person that you're ever gonna meet. And at the same time, I'm probably the most highly strung person I've ever come into contact with. I'm like, do you know when you take Christmas lights out of the attic? Weird metaphor, but please go with me. Smile and tell me yes. Do you know the way when you're like detangling Christmas lights at Christmas time to put them on the tree, and they're just a fucking ball. They're a ball of nothing but lights, and then you plug them in to see are they working? Is it even worth detangling them? And yes, they are working, but then they're blinding you in the eyes. They're cutting your hands. The dog's running around your legs, thinking you're playing. You know, trying to grab onto the fucking fairy lights, and you're there trying to detangle it. That's kind of what my brain feels like most times. I have not felt as at home in my body as I have recently behind that kit. I love it. I can't wait to share stuff with you guys. What was I saying? Christmas lights? I guess we could make a segue from that. There's a shop in Ireland, allegedly, that's put out their Christmas shit. And I'm like, One, I admire the lack of fucks you give. You know you're going to be torn apart by the let's not decorate early brigade. And two, why doesn't Halloween do that? Halloween is my absolute favorite time of year. I've said this many times. This is just a podcast of me regurgitating shit that I've said before. I love Halloween, but every single year I'm trying to find a sniff of skeletons. I'm trying to find a shred of pumpkins, okay? And all I can ever find is fucking Christmas shit. I do love this little gingerbread man so much. I have to fight my dog for this. Every time she comes into my room, she tries to leave with it, and I'm like, baby, I love you, but you're not claiming to bear for yourself. Every year, it's like trying to find Halloween decorations. And the Christmas stuff is already out. We all know it. They put out the Christmas stuff in like fucking July. But apparently there's a Christmas store open in Ireland. This is my favourite fucking cushion I've ever had in my life. I love it. And I love the feel of it. It feels like happiness. I don't give a shit about people early decorating. Partially because I don't think I can give a shit. I have half of my room decorated for Halloween already. And when I say already, I mean I never took them down. It's just a Halloween corner that stays up all year long. But I saw there was like outrage online. People were like, it's too early. And I'm like, wait, you know what? It is June. You know what? It is June. We're over halfway to Christmas. Still too early, to be fair. Life is short. Decorate if you want to. Fuck that shit. I remember last year, when did we put up our Christmas decorations like the week after Halloween, I think. We don't usually do that, but last year was a really rough year. You guys know me. You guys know me, and you've, been around since at least last year. You'd know I lost 2 grandparents last summer. Sounds like whoever that is driving outside my door, they're about to lose their car. That engine's about to give up the will to live, my guy. It's actually coming up. I think it's coming up on the 1 year anniversary soon of my granddad passed first, and then my nana, his wife, passed away like 3 weeks later. So it was just like we needed something happy. We needed something like light and bubbly in our lives. So we put up the Christmas decorations, I think the day after Halloween, because me and my mom, we always have like what's it, like, not festive, a season war. I'm like, you gotta let me, she loves Halloween as well. And I'm like, you've got to let me have my Halloween in peace. You gotta let me have all the month of October. Okay, if you can have November and December, give me October. So there's no Christmas music, there's nothing going on in the house until after Halloween. And then I'm like, go on, continue. And it's like, holly jolly Christmas, motherfuckers. We be ripping shit down out of the attic and putting on the Christmas bedding, putting up Christmas stuff. Life is short. People get so mean and so, like, judgy over the weirdest of things. Now listen, I did work retail, so I know what it feels like to have Christmas creep up on you, and before you know it, all the radio stations, all of the playlists is just the same 10 fucking Christmas songs on loop for the entire work day for 2 months of the year. You know what, I did hide in the stockroom 1 or 2 times to get away from that fucking playlist. But I actually do want to talk about that for a minute. Not Christmas. Well, maybe Christmas too. But there's this weird, I've been using TikTok a lot more than I usually do. So maybe that's where I went wrong. But I feel like people online just love to be mean and hateful sometimes for no reason. Sometimes it's warranted, don't get me wrong. But like, there's this weird culture online now of like, hating something is profitable. Which I suppose it is, because if you're a big enough creator, and I think it's if you're American, you can be in the creator fund. Meaning on TikTok you make money. Like, the bigger your video is, the more money you make, I think. So I can understand why people would be like, I need to do something viral to get that paycheck. But there's a culture, especially on TikTok, of like, it's a trend to hate someone or to use a sound of someone really cringy or to make fun of a song. So I'd recently used the Katy Perry song Pictures of You. I'm not the biggest fan, but like, everyone was just making fun of how she sang the song that's like 10 years old. And before you know it, everyone's lip singing to the song, taking the piss out of her. Or like with Benson Boone. That little guy is just an enigma to me. I just see him backflipping with his little Freddie Mercury mustache, and I'm like, pop off, King. If you're having fun, good for you. Wish I could fucking backflip if I could. I'd be doing it 3 or 4 times daily for people to see. I'd be like, hey, want to see something cool? But people are like taking the piss out of him as well, and it just, I don't know, it makes me sad. I mean, I guess people forget when you're online. I don't know why I'm absolutely pawing this pumpkin like my life depends on it, but people forget online that you can see what other people are saying about you. I get that sometimes to a much smaller extent. If I have a YouTube video pop off, and like do well view wise, people will just feel like they can drop into the comments and say whatever they want. And if I answer them, it's like, whoa, like I didn't think you'd see it. Sorry. It's just it's a really weird culture, particularly on TikTok, of like the meaner you are, the funnier you are. The funnier you are. And it's like I don't know, did my frontal lobe just like develop? But I just don't really think making fun of people is all that fun. Like I said, of course, you can't get your life without making a fucking joke that falls flat, like, a few times. But I think with this like commercialization of it now being trendy, it's literally a trend to make fun of a certain song or make fun of a certain person, or do you know what I mean? Like when I was younger, I loved One Direction, so like I was in the trenches. I know what it's like to be a 1D stan, and it was like people did act like it was their full time job to hit on them. But all it would be like you'd show up to school with a One Direction pencil case, and someone beside you'd be like, "They suck," and you'd be like, "Right." Or my favorite comeback, "Yeah, your mom." What did that mean? Don't really know. All I know is you could use it in retaliation to pretty much anything. But if someone ever said that to me, I fear I'd see red, and I'd rip your skin from your body with the fierceness of a chimpanzee. What in the love of God was I talking about? Anyway, so it's been a year. It's coming up on a year since I went to the Eras tour, and I can't believe it's already been a year. I'm trying so hard to avoid the internet because the Cowboy Carter tour is currently in England, and I would sell my left kneecap to go. Just my left one. I'd probably need the other one so I could hop on down to the stadium. And it's making me really sad that I'm not there. I've been seeing videos of her. She looks Beyonce now. I'm talking about. If you don't know, Cowboy Carter is Beyonce's tour. I'm not there, but I'm trying to gaslight myself that I am too, like watching videos. Anyway, it's been a year since the Eras tour. I went to see Taylor up in Dublin, and it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. And it's been a year already. It's coming up on a year. And do you want to know what's crazy? I don't really talk about like gut instincts all that often. Because why would I? What a weird thing to say. But one song by Taylor that's always like hit me in the crotch of my feelings is a song called Marjorie. And it's about her grandmother. And it's about how her grandmother passed away and she wishes that she had like it's all of the regrets that you have when someone that you love passes away, right? And I remember listening to it in the stadium and crying down my face, being like, I'm so lucky that I can't relate to this song. And I know I'm so lucky that I can't relate to it. And there'll be a time that I can. And like it made me really emotional for some reason. Very shortly after the Eras tour, my grandfather passed away, and then my grandmother. So it was like I had a gut feeling in that stadium. It was so weird. On Taylor Swift news, let's switch to a brighter topic. She got back her masters. If you're a Swiftie like me, you know all about what's going on. Whoa, my fucking hands just took over there for a sec. You know all about the masters debacle. You know all about the Taylor's version scenario. Can anyone tell me what in the love of God? So basically, Taylor got the rights to all of her music back. She owns all of her music. I love that for her, especially now that I'm in a band. Oh my God, the importance of like owning your masters and owning like it's important. I think I've learned an awful lot about the music industry from her and because of her. But yeah, she got the rights to her masters back. Is she or is she not releasing Reputation in debut? Because she put up that note on her website. And first of all, I'm dyslexic, so I couldn't read the fucking note. I had to read until it was like a handwritten letter. It was really arty and really pretty. Couldn't read it. So I was like, yay, I'm excited for you. What does this say? I had to wait until someone posted like a typed version of it online. Is she releasing Reputation, Taylor's version, or no? I am very much in the whole side of things of like let her live. She's been so busy the last few years. She has released so much material in the last few years. But at the same time, I feel like the whole world is waiting for Reputation Taylor's version. Now, I went to the Reputation tour. I was there the first time around. I lived it. And it both makes me sad and it makes me happy to see how people romanticize Reputation, the album, in that era now. Because I was there when there was like hardly anyone else there. I'm just happy that like people have grown out of that. It's cool to hate her phase and it's cool to bully her. Because like bringing it back to the whole everyone's just a person, everyone is just a people. That didn't feel grammatically correct. I've got to stop talking. Back then, it was like super cool and super funny to hate on her. It was just interesting watching people's response to Reputation this time around. Anyway, are we getting it or are we not getting it? Because if not, I feel like I need to emotionally prepare myself and be like, okay, fine. 1989 is the be all and end all of my life, so Not to be that bitch, but I got my album, so I'm happy. I just think it'd be weird for her to come this far and not put out debut and reputation. Because, like, there's no need for her now, I suppose, because she owns them. But I feel like just to prove a goddamn point and being the perfectionist that she is, I would finish it out. Not that she has to, because, like I said, she doesn't. It's Taylor Swift. She doesn't need to do fucking anything. Except for maybe relax a little bit and live life, because, like, she's been working non stop. Anyway, switching gears into Stranger Things, the show, not the topic. The fuck? Did you guys see Stranger Things as a release date? First of all, it's been like 18 years since the last season. I can't even fucking remember what happened. The last thing I remember is Eddie. Eddie fucking Munson. It has like a release date. They're breaking the last season down into 3. First part's coming out sometime in November, I think. And then, oh my god, the fuck of this all. Whoever decided this was on crack. They're putting out the second part of the season on Christmas Day and the third part on like New Year's Day. I understand at Christmas time people want things to watch and you think it's going to be a good idea because everyone's going to be at home. But the day? The day? That's a bit fucky. Maybe you should put it up like the week between Christmas and New Year where time doesn't really exist for most people. I know there's the odd career path and the odd job where it's like you don't get that weird timelessness feeling, and I'm sorry. But like, do you know that week in between Christmas and New Year? If they just dropped the whole season, my god, they would dominate streaming numbers and like breaking records for shit. It's really odd doing it the way they're doing it because like I love Stranger Things. I really do. I think it's great. I'm not going to be fucking watching that on Christmas Day. Last year, I remember Squid Game. I think it was Squid Game and What If. Really, I buckled under the pressure. I decided to do reactions for both of them over the Christmas period as they were airing or like as they came out. And I got very little time to actually enjoy the holiday because it was all editing and posting. So I'm not doing that this year. Um, I will be doing reactions for Stranger Things and they will be going up here on YouTube as well. But it probably won't be until like a week or two after Christmas because there ain't no way I'm doing that again. Speaking of Squid Game, did I mention Squid Game? If not, I should have. Now I have. The last season's coming out this month, right? It's the end of this month. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I really enjoyed last season. I had a great fucking time doing the reactions for it. I posted them to Patreon and to YouTube. Every single one of them got copyright blocked from YouTube. And the fuck of it all is they stayed up, they stayed visible until about a month ago. I woke up to like 8 emails telling me that all of them had been copyright blocked. Randomly out of the blue. It was manually by someone. So it must have been someone at Netflix didn't like my videos or didn't like me. So I guess I'll try this season with posting them, but I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it for this talk, this chat. I don't know what we talked about. I do this thing where I start talking and my mind just goes numb. I just keep yapping. And my brain just goes, you don't need me, girl, you got this. And then I finish a video and I sit down to edit it and it's just as much of a surprise to me as it is to you guys when you click play. Because I'm like, so what did I say in this video? Anyway, lads, that's it for this. Thank you guys for hanging, for chatting, for tuning in, for making me a part of your week. I always say this, but it baffles me anytime anyone leaves like a comment or says anything nice. Just kindness blows me away because I'm like, you make me a part of your week. And, you know I have a big enough following here on YouTube, but I'm still very small in terms of other content. I'm minuscule in terms of other content creators. So the fact that you'd make me a part of your week at all is just absolutely wonderful. Whether it's the reaction videos, whether it's the breakdown videos, the interviews, or, these podcast style videos. It means a lot to me. Did you want to listen to me ramble and make me part of your life, your week? So thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you. There won't be one going up next week. It'll be every 2 weeks. I think the 2 weeks is the sweet spot. I said I was going to do it weekly and then a bunch of stuff happened and I didn't. Then again, who knows? I might be in great form next week and I might decide to post one. There's no consistency with me. The only thing that's consistent is the inconsistency. I should trademark that. So yeah, let me know what you've been up to down in the comments. My Twitter, my Instagram, anywhere you can find me is linked in the description down below. My band's Instagram, Litarian, is also linked in the description down below. If you do want to come follow us, I'd really appreciate it. I don't know why my arms have been so defensive this entire video. It's actually really comfortable to sit this way. My arms have room to just vibe. They look abnormally long in this frame for some reason. Feeling like Slenderman. Or a spider. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will talk to you all soon. I cannot stop touching this pumpkin.